Today is July 26th. The Yankees are playing the Mets. The Yankees are trying to make trades. We're talking about Stanton and some relievers and some trades. Music will play. It'll end. We'll begin the show.
Talking Yanks with old JOMBOY, Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, steam and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talking Yanks with old JOMBOY and Jake. Talking Yanks with old JOMBOY and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks, brought to you by SeatGeek. My name is Jimmy. I'm sitting here with Jake. He looks cool. BBD is producing in the corner. We have some sharp stats. We have reliever targets. We have some conversations to be had, Jake. I don't care about any of them. Until we get Soto or Castillo off the board and my heart is broken or my heart is gold, I can't focus on anything else.
James, BBD, I think that part was important to the episode, so that's why I let you go there. What's going on, everyone? Subway Series? So you're not excited for the preview of the World Series tonight, Jim? Okay.
Subway Series.
Okay, man.
2 days, 2-game midway series against talk better.
Do I look like a guy that would move like this when he talks?
You look like a guy who the locals hate.
Yes.
But you're not leaving town.
But I represent you now.
Yes.
So you better pay the troll toll if you want to get in this boy's hole.
They put you on the billboard of not
Yes.
just a vacation spot. This guy moved here and now he's living large.
You can live here year round.
And the locals are like, this guy sucks though.
I hate this guy.
I hate this guy.
I'm good.
That's great.
What were you saying?
It's good news. What was I saying? I don't know.
You were getting mad at yourself for not being able to speak. I think you were saying midweek interleague 2-game sets suck ass.
Yes.
Canceled.
It would be in my top 10 things to change, but it would be 10th. Or it'd be like, if you get to be commissioner for a day, whatever, it'd be 10, and then there might be like 10A, 10B, 10C. Right. One of the 10s would be stop doing 2-day midweek interleague series. No one cares about them.
Or just 2-game sets at all.
Yes.
I guess in division, if you're getting rest days around it or something like that. And
when they played 2 games against, if there was 2 games against the Astros, not a doubleheader, I'd perk up for that. Right. And 2 games against the Red Sox. But yeah, it's interleague. It's like, especially Herman starting tonight.
Yeah.
So
tomorrow.
Who's starting tonight?
Monty.
That was a happy one for those who saw.
Okay.
I
couldn't tell.
My mouth curled up.
I
went like this.
And listened. I could not tell.
Teeth showed. And
I was surprised. I thought it was bad time.
No, I like Monty.
I know. That's why I was confused.
Herman versus the Mets.
Yeah, so a little Mets talk to start it out. We didn't even plan this.
We did a Mets episode.
So I think
YouTube
the Yankees do win tonight's game.
Oh.
But Lindor and Alonso homer early, and the Yankees come back, so that's cool.
That is really cool.
But really cool. They're losing tomorrow's game, which stinks.
Yeah. Or Herman gets shelled.
Pretty out on Herman.
Litke's a hero. Pretty out on Herman. Yeah.
Pretty out on Herman.
Yeah. No, it's bad time.
His stats aren't good.
No.
It's been a while since we've seen the good version of him.
All right.
Quits baseball all the time. But I have trades in my mind, dude. I was talking to Matty Mass about this, and
yes,
the last 4 years, there's been people that went into this mode, and I never did because I never thought it was realistic or actually possible. When it was Machado free agent, I didn't really think the Yanks.
Yeah.
Apparently, they were kind of in on him, but I didn't think. Well, even some big free agents, Harper.
Right. I mean, there's also a little bit you have to blind yourself because the chances of it happening are slim either way.
Even if you're fully in, between all the teams that could be involved.
All
it's
the
still
premier,
10%.
yeah. I think Greinke was but I knew he wasn't going to come to New York. But it was just all of them. And on this one, dude, with Castillo and Soto, I am, man, I'm in deep. I am, I think the odds are still neither happen, but I think there are odds that they happen. Like it's like where other past big stars, I would have just been on this. You can probably go back and listen to them. Like it's not happening. Like stop trying to get yourself excited. I'm so excited. Yeah. I'm ready to be heartbroken by it. Not. I don't know what it's going to cost, but I can't really think about anything else.
Yeah, I'm in a similar boat, man, for similar reasons. I mean, I still don't know how the Soto thing plays out. I just pre-recorded tomorrow's Wake and Jake with Trevor Plouffe, and we dove into it even more. Because I keep flip-flopping, because, man, to be a GM and put in your hat that I traded for Juan Soto, basically you can't get hurt on the other side. Like, you give him any prospects, and you're not going to get burnt. You're getting a Hall of Famer. And, dude, the other part where I start getting emotional is, like, if Juan Soto gets traded to the Yankees, I told this to BBD and said it on there, like, I want to find out what number he's wearing. Because, like, there's a good chance it's the last time that number's worn by a Yankee. They'd have to re-sign him.
They have to re-sign him, yeah.
But if he does, like, that number's gone. The dude's going to the Hall of Fame.
What number does he wear right now?
22.
22.
Available.
That is available. So he's probably going to wear 22.
Convenient.
Comes over. Does anyone have it right now?
I don't think so.
No one wanted to follow up Ellsbury?
And then
it's been one of those numbers that's been weirdly not used.
And then I think the other thing...
Stump?
Well, Ellsbury was using it, technically. The other thing is the Yankees are going to make moves. Like you've been saying, this is a World Series team. I think it's also the perfect trade deadline team. They started out on as good of a pace as you can. This team has real dreams. And then in the past couple weeks, some of their weaknesses have been exploited. The starting pitching started to slow a little bit. The bullpen's gotten thinner.
Yeah, it's a blessing. We're spin zoning all that into a good thing.
As of now. And let's be honest. I mean, the Yankees make a move around pretty much every deadline. It's just how significant. In left field, the current train is Soto to Happ to Benintendi to like a David Peralta. The bullpen train, there's some different names that we might be talking about a little bit. And then, it's Luis Castillo, Montes, and then who else falls into the pecking order from there. So it's just exciting to see who's going to be there, and something's going to be there. And then to dive into all that August 2nd, I burped. I'm excited to see. Kay never does that. Or Curry. It's weird.
You're a big burp guy.
It's weird. They never burp into the mic and then say, I burped.
Yeah, no.
It's just different. I'm not a Fordham guy.
Yeah.
Central.
I'm not a big burper.
Different broadcasting school. You're a yawner, I'm a burper.
I am a yawner.
New show name.
Mark Carrig put out.
Right.
I like him. He put out a trade.
Okay.
For Soto and Corbin.
Done.
He used that trade value website. You got on there recently. Have you been messing around?
I went on there for a little bit.
But every time I see it, it seems like bullshit. So I don't.
I think for Juan Soto, and it's the other side of this equation that's so fascinating, is that guys like Juan Soto don't get traded. So to just kind of assume his value doesn't make a ton of sense because it never works. It's never worked like that. I don't know, man. And that's the other part of this that's so scary is like the Nats don't have to trade Juan Soto. And that's where I get scared. And now I'm starting to question, if we're sneaking up to the deadline and you're not sure, the Nats haven't give you a 100% they're going to trade Juan Soto, never mind to your team. When do you make the move on an Ian Happ or Benintendi and say that's not happening? And I need to make sure I get those guys.
Yeah, but it's a different package for Benintendi.
Right, but I'm saying the Benintendi trade could be happening tomorrow.
Yeah, but they could trade for Ben. I don't think this is going to happen.
Right.
But they could trade for Benintendi as their safety plan, right? And send them a top 100 prospect, top 50 in the organization. Like, think of Rizzo. Rizzo was a rental, and who did we get for Rizzo? Unless you're deep in the farm system, you don't know. That's the same package it's going to be for Benintendi. It's not going to be names that you really know right now, unless you are a deep into the Yankees prospect world.
Or like one dude or something.
So they could trade for Benintendi, and then if they get Juan Soto, flip Benintendi.
Yeah,
and
it's
be
just,
like, we got him. But they also have their. I don't think
it's
that's
just a lot of moving parts.
So, no,
there,
I'm
yeah.
not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying if they trade for Benny early,
Right.
it's not like the pieces they gave up for him make them unable to trade
Right.
for Soto. You know.
But I guess it's if the Benny trade happens tomorrow, he goes to Houston, and then the Hap trade happens the next day, or maybe Hap's your only like. It just becomes a really interesting equation. And Hap's got a year and a half, so it's not as easy as that necessarily. We just want to see it play out.
Yeah.
1 week, dog.
I know. Mark Carrick, he
That
has
landed so perfectly between your fingers.
split my fingers. Soto and Corbin for Dominguez,
Yep.
Oswald Peraza, and Gleyber Torres. That seems light.
The Gleyber part doesn't
And
make sense to
I
me
don't understand why people keep putting Gleyber in there.
because he's got 2.5 years left, the same as Soto.
But they want longer.
Right. If they truly do want major league talent, which I think is a little bit of fan service. I mean, in a way they do, but you want young talent that has 5 years of
Yeah, because
control,
the other report
not
said they
2.5.
wanted 5 to 6 years,
Right.
which makes so much more sense.
Yeah. That's where the trade calculator thing doesn't work.
And but all these reporters, are they just using the trade calculator because they're all putting Gleyber in there?
Get some clicks, dog.
It doesn't make sense.
And no shame in their game, and they're just playing the game. So I'm not critiquing them, but also like if you want Castillo and Soto, and using that trade machine, you have to trade Gleyber and Nestor as part of it. So, not that I've been using it.
Sounds like you've been using it.
I haven't been using it.
Sounds like every reporter is using it.
Yeah. Dude, Passan blew the cover off.
What'd he say?
Passan did a tweet with it, and now it's like fair game for everyone. Like he kind of made the ruling in the court of law.
What'd he say?
He just had a tweet a couple weeks ago where he
He had,
used
like,
the
a
trade
pic- a
calculator.
screenshot
I think
of
it
it or
was when the
something.
Soto rumors first started.
Yeah. Doesn't make sense to me.
Like, it'd be one thing if Gleyber was where he is a year ago or something, and you can talk the Nats into. But you also get him, who's a young player, and you can play him for a year and build up his value. Gleyber's built his value back, so that's not.
Yeah, and then
interesting
like
to
if
them.
you want Corbin,
They're just gonna flip him again immediately.
Gleyber's making $6 million this year. So like when they traded for Stanton, they got rid of Starling Castro. He was making $6 million, but Stanton was a ton of money.
Right.
The Yankees were like, well, you got to take some money off our books. Juan Soto's not.
Well, if Corbin's coming back,
I guess so, but I don't.
which I think he's definitely going to be in the Soto trade.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's a lot to take on.
Seen his baseball savant?
Has he been good?
No.
I know, but you got to pay his contract is the same as Soto's in year 3.
Well, that's
So
yeah,
basically,
a
then you're
lot
just
of
paying
total money
you're
to
paying
take
Soto
on.
$60 million.
yeah. And it's still not that far off his value.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Every time I talk about it, I'm like, he's not going to get traded.
Well, you know what?
Still want Castillo, and we have some relievers at the end here. We have Sharpstats. You want to do that first?
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna flip these just because it's so pertinent, and I want to talk about the Hudson Valley Renegades really quickly,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
The HVR.
The High A affiliate. Have you ever been?
I have been. They have wine ice cream.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good.
You
There's
know
a
what
video of us eating that.
You know what else they have?
Baseball.
Jason Dominguez, the Martian, the number 39 prospect in all of baseball.
I had a grand slam off you on that field.
Go see him. Go see him. I think we won 2 out of 3.
Yeah, but I hit a grand slam off you.
I count W's.
I'm
Sorry, I'm a Jeter, and you're an A-Rod.
Yeah, I'm personal accolades only.
Okay, Rod.
Yeah.
And they're playing this week. 7:26 starts tonight through the 31st against the Brooklyn Cyclones. A little double Subway series, Jim. The Cyclones are the Mets low A team. So
I heard
you can,
Cyclone's nothing but clowns.
clowns, bro. Can't hit with us. Can't pitch with us. Can't do it. So if you want to see the future Subway series, go check those guys out. Or Friday through Sunday night, they got fireworks. And maybe this is the last week to see Jason Dominguez. Sign your ball. Sign your baby. Jimmy knows. Jimmy knows. And they've got BOGO. Buy one, get one for their lower box seats for the rest of the season with code JOMBOY. Check them out. HV Renegades, IG, Twitter, and hvrenegades.com is their website. BOGO lower box tickets the rest of the year with code JOMBOY. Go check out some of the young studs that are down there. it's a good time to plant the seed, you know? And then you see Jason Dominguez and you're like, oh, dude, you just signed my baby. We'll remember this forever. And then he's playing center field for the Yankees in a couple years. And you're like, dude, you signed my baby. The ink's still on there.
He's a story alley. Hey, we should send Joe's there.
I know. It all happened quick.
It all happened quick.
He's in the office right now.
I know.
And it's kind of rude to the kids.
It is rude to
We
them.
should do it to, like, we should eye next trade deadline and see, like, if the Pirates are playing the Angels or something like that. Like, two teams that it's not looking great for, and just have Joe's shake everyone's hand.
Yeah, we should.
Because those are men, you know? But what are men?
We started out as boys, now we're men, and we're making noise. Hooah!
In the presence of a queen, the queen of stats, KT Sharp.
I thought you wanted to flip and do relievers first.
No, I flipped the ads.
Oh.
Because we were talking about the prospies.
Sharp stats.
Hey guys, Queen of Stats, and this week we need to talk about Giancarlo Stanton, and not in a good way, unfortunately. Now, he is quietly on pace for his worst OPS plus as a Yankee and the third worst of his career. So that's OPS adjusted for ballpark and the offensive environment. Now, it is overshadowed by his 986 OPS with runners in scoring position and his 24 home runs, but still, this is a concern for me. Now, I've identified, I think, 3 reasons for his downturn this season. And now what I'm looking at is only full season, so I'm excluding 2019 and 2020. So the first thing that I noticed was his performance against left-handed pitchers. And this year, the only season that he's had a worst batting average, OBP, and slugging against left-handers was his rookie season. And the second one is fastballs. Now, you'd think fastballs, Stan, he's going to crush them. Wrong. He is on pace for his worst batting average, OBP, and slugging against fastballs for any season of his career. And this third one is his performance against pitches in the shadow zone. So what that is StatCast splits the area over the plate and around it into what they call 4 attack zones. From the center to the outside, it's the heart, the shadow, chase, and waist. So we're going to focus on the shadow, which is the edges of the plate, kind of that area that's the width of 2 baseballs inside the zone, outside the zone, around the edges of the strike zone. And the reason it's important is because this is where he sees the most pitches. So 43% of his pitches are seen in the shadow zone. He is on pace for his worst batting average, OBP, and slugging percentage on pitches in the shadow zone for any season in his career. And this is shocking. Last year, he was a top 10 hitter against pitches in the shadow zone. This year, out of the 108 players that have at least 150 plate appearances ending in the shadow zone, he has the second worst batting average, the worst OBP, and the 7th worst slugging percentage. So there you have it, guys. 3 areas where he's really struggled this season against lefties versus fastballs and on pitches in the shadow zone. Talk to you next week.
Okay. Bummer of a topic. We're talking about Giancarlo Stanton and his struggles. As the Queen of Stats said, he was an all-star. There are some things being covered up by his ability to get the run in when he's up with runners in scoring position. We talked about that a couple episodes ago. He's been really good with runners in scoring position. Also, he's hit a bunch of home runs. His slugging is good. But there's a lot of underlying numbers here that are not great. And we've seen that with his batting average being so low and some other bad basic numbers. But I guess what we have here, Jake, is bad versus lefties, bad versus fastballs, and bad in the shadow zone. Which one do you want to start with? Which one do you worry about the most? Where did all the shadow people go?
I will start with bad versus lefties. Giancarlo Stanton has a history of mauling lefties. He has a career 990 OPS versus lefties, which that's Hall of Fame. That's Trout. That's like any of the best hitters you name. That's right there. 288, 386, 990 career versus lefties. And even in recent years, he's, that's something he's specialized in. Like, I remember us doing homer drafts where if there's a lefty and Stanton was facing them, it was like, all right, like, I almost want to save him for that day. That's a little bizarre to me. I'm not sure what's going on there. And then, I mean, it's fastball. Shadow zone, just in general, sounds a little fishy to me.
The rain is falling.
Shadow zone.
It's after dark. The streets are swimming with the sharks.
I mean, we picture when Stanton hits those big home runs. You know, if he clubs a fastball the way he hits a ball, that's when it goes miles. I mean, you know, All-Star game this year, people got to see it. I don't know. Honestly, Stanton hasn't looked bad this year. I think there was one stretch he was a little lost, and it was Stanton slumpy loss. You get some weird swings because of the weird stance.
I think he's coming through in the heightened moments, so those way heavier than the average moments.
And I think this also ties into PPP season a little bit when we do our player profile and projections. Stanton gets measured by homers, and the homers are still there. So he's on pace for close to a 40-homer season.
I have an obnoxious, delusional Yankees
I love it.
fan take.
Sure.
Stan's really good in the postseason, correct?
Yes.
He uses spring training usually to just completely work on things, right?
Right.
Stan's usually pretty good versus fastballs and usually pretty good versus lefties and usually pretty good versus shadows on pitches, according to the stats that we've heard.
I get
and
it.
things that we know.
The old bait and switch.
He's just baiting and switching and working on things. Regular season is his spring training. Postseason is his season. He's preparing.
Yeah.
It's a rope-a-dope.
It's a rope-a-dope. There's no other way around it.
Let's bring our lefty in the face Stan. What are you talking about? He crushes lefties. Not this year. He's actually in bad. Boom! Yeah. Home run. Darwinzon Hernandez quits baseball on the spot.
Yeah. And we stumbled into this a little bit, and maybe it ties into your theory of doing when it's important. With runners in scoring position, he's been great this year.
Yeah, when it matters, he's like, yeah, okay, no fucking around.
908 OPS with men on. A 986 OPS with runners in scoring position.
Show me
I think he's rope-a-doping.
Can I find... I'm going to try and find... So let's do lefties.
Okay.
With runners in scoring position. Because maybe he just reverts back to, himself.
It's time.
Yeah.
It's time.
It's our pond.
Bruce Buffer.
We built this rink.
You there?
No, it's going to take a little bit.
Okay.
Because I got to go runners on.
Well, can I give you another spin zone before we come back to that?
Runners in scoring position. I still got to...
The New York Yankees are still first in OPS in baseball. They're first in home runs. They're first in runs. Aaron Judge, you can link him to a lot of those, and that's fine. Jim, I'm going to make this... I'm going to take one step back before we take two steps forward. Stanton and Rizzo haven't been full-blown Stanton and Rizzo for a while.
Yeah.
Anthony Rizzo, if you cut out the first month of the season, he's been 205, 319, a 742 OPS, which not bad numbers, but not who Anthony Rizzo is. Giancarlo Stanton, Jim, I'm cutting out the first 3 games. He had a good first 3 games. He's been 221, 306, 788. Since the first 3 games. Again, a 788 OPS this year especially is pretty good. But that's not Giancarlo Stanton. Those are all significantly under what he can do. So my spin zone there is these guys haven't looked bad. They just haven't looked crazy right. And there's no reason to think they don't have this in the tank. So I have this as a positive. I think Stanton and Riz are still there. They just kind of haven't hit like the all systems go button.
Okay, I agree with you. Some numbers while I figure this out because it's not. He has 26 at bats or plate appearances versus lefties with runners in scoring position. Okay, 26 plate appearances. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say how many hits does he have in those plate appearances? 8 hits.
8 for 22. That's good.
No, 26 plate appearances, but I don't know how many at bats.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll include. Well, find out how many walks are. I wish there was an easier way to do this, but it's not because it gives you the individual pitches, not the result.
Sure.
What else? What else can not count as a plate appearance? Sack fly.
Sack flies, walks, hit by pitch.
Yeah, those
Okay,
are all
so I'll find
not
out.
at-bats.
I'll find out how many of those happened. And 3.
Okay.
So he's 8 for 23. What's that?
That's good. Top of my head.
347 versus lefties with runners in scoring position.
Yeah.
He's rope-a-doping everyone
You can leave
until it matters.
You can leave your lefty in for Stanton.
He's actually hitting bad against lefties now.
Bong.
But there's runners on
Bong.
base.
Bong.
He's a smart guy, huh?
I cannot wait to ask him.
Of those 8 hits, we have a homer, a double, a single, a single, a single, a homer, and a single. So 3 homers
Yep.
out of 8, 4 extra base hits out of 8. So his slugging's probably incredible.
Good.
Rope-a-dope city.
Rope-a-dope.
Honestly, sometimes
Right.
I opened this up with, I said, here's a delusional spin zone. And now I'm sitting here saying, we just cracked the code. We're smart.
You're the
People
only
that
one.
listen to this show
Yeah.
are smarter than people that don't listen to the show because they understand that we're like idiot savants.
You're the only one that doubted it. I was with you in lockstep from the beginning.
Do you want to see against fastballs?
Lefties against fastballs
No,
or
'cause
runners in scoring
Runners in
position?
scoring position,
Oh,
fastballs.
Jim, you can bring it up, but I already know it's good.
Because that's the other thing he's bad at, right? Without
Pretending.
he's pretending to be bad.
It's acting.
Damn, man, this is cool. You got 56 plate appearances. Well, that doesn't make sense. Versus fastballs.
No. Maybe that's just results.
That was first pitch fastball.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would just have to do. It's tougher to do this.
We'll get those another time. But I guarantee you they're good. I guarantee it. Promise.
Yeah.
Some other good news.
He's only has a 12% whiff rate against fastballs with runners in scoring position.
So
I guess you would want to compare that to runners not in scoring position whiff rate.
and his baseball reference, he got his All-Star MVP banner on his page. So that's pretty big.
That is huge.
Some guys will never get our banner. It's his 5th.
His 5th banner.
You think you're going to find this?
I'm going to find just his whiff percentage at fastballs with no runners on.
Okay.
And that's all I'll do. I'll stop. It's 11%, so it's the same thing.
Same thing.
Same thing. You can find that. It's a little more nuanced, but I found the lefty thing. I could also find the shadow zone thing. That's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Where did all the shadow people go? You ought to know. What's the next topic?
Okay. You're good there?
No, I'm not satisfied until
Damn.
until I find. I mean, I'm like one click away from shadow zone.
You're going to the shadow zone right now.
So I'm gonna do it.
Okay. Let's take us to the shadow zone, Poppy. Talk me through it.
He's faced 160 pitches on the shadow zone with runners in scoring position. Okay. Out of those pitches, it's tough to do this because you want to see at bats, but it's tough when it's a single pitch. He's got 8 hits. Doesn't look good. He's put 25 balls in play out of 160, but 30% of them were balls. I don't know. I don't know how to do that one. Wish I figured it out.
A lot of analytics there.
We cracked the case. He's fucking rope-a-doping him.
Yeah, his baseball savant's fine.
No need to worry. It's a rope-a-dope.
Okay.
Let's move on. We have some reliever targets.
Jimmy, let's play some bets for the rest of the episode. And you can do that at the DraftKings Sportsbook. You guys know we are with DK. Ooh, voice cracked a little bit. The official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball right now. New customers can bet just $5 on any game and get $100 in free bets instantly. You know what I might do?
What's that, dog?
I'm 1 for 1 on the year.
You are on what?
Betting Stanton homers.
Who's he facing tonight?
The Mets, bro. He's facing the uniform, dude.
I'd put it on Judge.
Although it is David Peterson tomorrow. Better odds with Stan. Pick whoever you want at the DraftKings Sportsbook. And if you bet $5 on any game, you'll get $100 in free bets instantly. Plus, DK has their same game parlays. Rack up a couple bets. Get yourself better odds. Get yourself better payouts. Buy yourself a nice dinner. Maybe. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code JOMBOY. New customers can make any $5 bet and get $100 in free bets instantly. That's promo code JOMBOY only at the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. MLB trademarks used with permission.
Of course they are.
Ha ha ha.
Wop ba da da da. A wop bamboo. Ba da doo doo. Ba da da da.
Skilly da, skilly da da da. I would have been so good as a human noisemaker and
Yeah.
band.
You would have been so famous if you lived in the day and age of the doo-wop, the top of the charts shows.
Frankie Valley, a little before then, I guess, but
You go on TV and they play and there's just
look at
people-
this.
Yeah, there's like Grease. There's just hand jiving and dancing in the background.
You guys aren't going to believe this next
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
He can make noises you've never heard before.
I have you dancing in the background, hand jiving and stuff, and then like the host that talks real fast. Oh, what are you gonna say? And then he hands the mic to you, and you just like boop boop noise, fart, and then like you pass out.
Frog throat.
Yeah. Like, all right, back to the dance, and they go to some like a very attractive girl, and then the audience is, and the director's like, stay on her.
This was a good episode.
Yeah. We gotta have those guys back.
Aha.
Ha.
We're
All right.
talking some relievers.
Relievers, we have some stats and data on the reliever market. Thank you to the stats and data team here at JOMBOY Media. Kinger's hurt.
Yeah.
Good news was no UCL
Yeah.
damage. UCL damage.
DM'd him.
What you say?
You got a little side smile when I said that.
I didn't DM him.
I said
I DM'd someone else.
incredible season, man. How you holding up? He said, thank you, hanging in there. I said, brutal sport sometimes. Let us know if you need anything from R and Big Daddy. He said, appreciate that. So pretty nice exchange.
That's nice of you.
DM
DM Monty.
You're going to DM Monty right
No,
now?
you do it.
Me and Monty.
I don't think people like me, so I don't DM them anymore.
Okay.
You're the likable one.
Semi good news for King. Monty doesn't get it. It's confusing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You want to talk about some rentals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Fulmer, Tigers. You know what? You know what the biggest thing about Fulmer is?
What's that?
Is you go to the Royals and you go, why don't you just trade Stalmont now? See what other people do when they hold on to him? They could have got a haul for Fulmer 3 years ago.
When he was a starter, yeah.
Yeah, it's true. But I just mean the Royals have some relievers.
Well, and that's where
I wanted the Royals to put relievers in the Benny trade, and then I looked at their Barlow, Stalmont. I was like, nah, they got a lot of years left.
Yeah. Could be nice. Yeah, Fulmer interests me. He's a guy that's had a nice, or he's already kind of felt the whole cycle of baseball. Like elite starting pitcher to like it's kind of gone, injured to now you're in the bullpen and now you're good in the bullpen. I feel like that could kind of fuel him.
He's been humbled.
Like you get those pinstripes and you're like, all right, I'm not going to blow this.
No.
And he's been a really good reliever, and we know the Yankees were interested in him when he was a starting pitcher. So there's some dots you can connect there. And his problem has been, when he has problems, it's with walks, and we saw what they've done with Clay Holmes. That was his problem, so maybe we tap into that a little more. I'm interested in Michael Fulmer big time. And, like, he's a guy that he's going to get traded. And he's like, this is a sneaky part of the equation. For a reliever, he's kind of pricey. He's $5 million because when he was young, he was a good starting pitcher. So that changed his
ARB numbers and
So
stuff.
funny. But, I mean, he's making $5 million this year.
Yes.
So it's like 1.8.
Like 2 point something. 2.2.
Something.
But still,
Pricey for a reliever.
a lot of teams like don't pay that for relievers.
Been a good reliever this year and last year.
And
too.
like that'll
started last.
That'll genuinely like lower his price tag, which now you're giving up less prospects for a guy who's good in the bullpen. I've got Michael Fulmer circled pretty hard. Unfortunately, probably harder than David Robertson, which we love D-Rob. We're Yankees fans. He's pitched a lot of good baseball for us. I guess I'm still thrown off at that.
1.95 according to the arbitration math, the math that I do. So I was like spot on.
Okay. I
Because
was kind of right in the middle.
it's 40%.
Right.
I guess we're at the 60% mark.
Yeah.
2 out of 5.
Never been able to do that.
Yeah. Just we've heard the stories. They've been out there about how some of D-Rob stuff went down with the Yankees that I just don't know. Like, it felt like there was weird vibes there. So in my head, it's just not real.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that is just because, like, that report about him not wanting to pay people on his way out, and then felt like they should have, like, looked into him at other points of his, since he's, like, gotten to this place, and they never did.
Right.
It felt like they would have extended a, rehab with us, and then we'll get you, or
They brought in a lot of friendly
they're a
faces
team
on, like,
that
minor
brings
league deals.
Yes,
at
they're a
least.
team that brings back familiar faces on minor league deals. And when he was searching for that, it was reported there was never even a thought. So in my head, it's not even a thought that D-Rob comes back.
Yeah. It almost seems like he's lined up for the Mets. That would like complete his arc, right?
Ooh,
yeah. So that stings. I'll say this.
Say it.
If he does land on the Yankees, we would be hella excited. I don't let out my Cali a lot.
No.
And the stuff he did wrong, like you could make right pretty easily.
Yeah.
Like the people that were around for that, a couple doll hairs. Either way, it just doesn't seem real in my head.
Same. I agree with you.
Who else do we got here? I see Daniel Bard on the Rockies. He's exciting. Dude pumps it. He's also a JOMBOY Media fan.
Yeah, he said hi to us. Said we were taller than he thought.
Expiring.
And talk about an awesome story and career cycle. Guy was out of the sport with the yips. And, I don't like saying the Y word, but he admits it. He's come back at 35, and he's been electric.
I overcame the yips earlier this year.
Only problem is he's on the Colorado Rockies, and they are one of the worst-run organizations in sports until they hire me, and I will change things there.
Jolly Joe's were pretty poorly run.
I don't know. They kind of figured it out towards the end.
Once they got like some
growing.
manager.
Right.
Yeah.
Audio jack. Daniel Bard should be a fantastic option. He should have been a fantastic option at last year's trade deadline, and the Rockies didn't, or they didn't trade Trevor Story. So I'm not going to drink any Rockies player Kool-Aid until
I have a
it
question
actually
for you.
happens.
Can't
Yes.
trust them to do the move they should obviously do.
Can't trust this.
Do you think the Yankees, when they look at relievers,
Can't trust this.
look for sure things right now at this deadline? They look for guys like, we know he can come in. He's been having a great season, and he will continue to have a great season for us. Kind of the names that are on this list. Or at this point, with a team this good, do you still think they're going to look for relievers the way they did of old? Wandy Peralta, and we think we can change his repertoire. Clay Holmes, a name no one was thinking about. We think he can change his repertoire. Do you think that if we were to talk about these rental relievers, they would somewhat laugh and say, we're not going to spend prospects on a rental reliever when we can go get this dude who stinks right now, and we'll get him for 3 years, and we believe we can change him to be just as good as these rentals with our pitching coach?
They want to do that. I think the Yankees gospel and Matt Blake is out. Like, think about how far we've come on Matt Blake. When he first joined the team, we talked about him as, like, not a joke, or in a joking way, we were like, Garrett Cole's the pitching coach. Like, what's Matt Blake's personality? We hadn't really seen anything. And then he had his first interview on Towing the Slab as of recently. We grew to love Matt Blake because all of our pitchers were pitching incredibly. And then he was on Towing the Slab. Awesome interview. By the way, Towing the Slab debuts tonight after the game on Yes. So pretty cool. So leave the game on.
2 JOMBOY media shows on Yes Network. Amazing.
So leave the game on.
Frank Thomas follows me on Twitter.
Huge.
He called me a rat once. Should I let him know?
Leave Yes on after the game for that. It's twofold, Jim. I think the Yankees realize they're hunting a World Series, and if you can get an experienced arm, or even like those guys you mentioned on the Royals who are super talented, but you have to give real prospects for, or not even real prospects. We're still talking relievers, people. Yeah. That I think they're open to that, but they have their list of next Clay Holmes, Wandy Peralta.
Yeah,
that's why BBD pointed out
it's a different urgency. Like the bullpen's so like than last year when they were getting Wandy, they were getting Clay. They were just it was adding more to the pile. Our pile's thin, so I wonder if they keep that philosophy or they do pivot to a little more urgency.
Like last year when they got those guys, we knew who 8 and 9 were gonna be in a playoff game.
Yes, like we don't know who's 8 right now.
There's a guy. BBD, I'll give you the credit, and if you'd like to say his name,
Lou Trevino
on the A's who are selling this year. His ERA is bad.
Are awful.
He got hit, but his FIP is right around where it normally is. His strikeouts are actually up. The A's are selling. Doesn't that feel like the kind of guy like you were just talking about? The Yankees buying low on a Lou Trevino, a guy that has experience.
He is a rental.
I don't see them buying high on a reliever.
Right, because they do think they have the sauce.
Yeah, and they've done that already, and they kind of stopped it. Like they went and they got Britton for so much money, and they got Ottavino, and then lately they've been like,
paying big for a reliever was hot in the streets league wide, but especially with the Yankees for a while there.
Yeah,
and sort of not anymore.
But I mean, when they got Britton, it worked out.
I guess he was expiring.
It did until the postseason when he said, "This doesn't work."
That was the next year, right?
Yeah.
Next year, yeah.
They had re-signed him already.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but Trevino's his numbers, his ERA, all that terrible. Like even last night, he got a save against the Astros, gave up 3 hits and a run. Like the A's defensive metrics are so bad, and the Yankees have good defense, and they used to have good defense around him.
When was Trevino good?
They lost
last
few years. Like he went in our reliever draft with Jerry Blevins this fall. He was that good. They went from having Matt Chapman, Matt Olson, both Gold Glovers on the corners, to they don't have either of those guys. Tony Kemp shouldn't be playing as much second base as he is.
I mean, Trevino
Andrews is old.
He's a reliever that throws
a lot of sinkers,
a lot of pitches. I mean, he throws 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pitches more than 10% of the time.
Matt Blake, fix him.
Maybe we start throwing that good pitch.
It seems like a prime candidate to say, hey,
right?
Why don't you throw that good pitch?
The 2 good ones.
Like right now, the slider's got great numbers. I don't know if that's because they're not sitting on it.
So I like what you kind of walked us into. I don't think the Yankees feel like they need to pay for a reliever who's doing their best right now, and their price is at an all-time high because they have Matt Blake in their pitching system. I think there's 2 ways to go about it. There's the Trevino. Someone that we've heard about, we've seen. He pitched at Yankee Stadium in the playoffs for the A's. That they could tap into a little more, get him out of Oakland. This was always going to be an awful year for the A's, and see what they can tap into with a guy like that. Or it's going to be someone who's nowhere close to our radar, a la Clay Holmes and Wandy Peralta.
Yeah. Yep.
Nobody had them.
No.
Additionally, like the A's, they have so many guys they're dumping. You can probably do multiple of them in one trade. So
pick them up.
If you do the Laureano part of it, or some other guy, some other A you like,
Lou Trevino.
You probably can get Trevino as a throw-in.
He's getting paid $3 million this year, which goes down to
$3 million.
Like 1.4,
1.2.
Yeah, I don't know.
Something like that.
I can do some mental math on it real quick.
He does. I believe he does expire. Like he'll hit free agency.
Like
so
one.
That's a wrench in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like 1.1.
Okay. We're all around it.
Top of my head.
Top of his head.
Top of my head, like 1.17.
Oakland doesn't want to pay that 1.1 the rest of the year. He hasn't been good. This is a guy that you can get for prospect number 34.
They are dumping him.
I will say, we're trying to predict the Yankees' moves. I don't love the move of banking on a guy having a huge turnaround.
If this is one of two moves,
one of four,
I would hope he's not
one of two moves for the
reliever they
bullpen.
get.
Oh, okay. Well, I also think hopefully one of the starters goes to the bullpen.
If one of us pegged
Come
each other with a
playoff time.
baseball, it'd be a viral moment.
Yeah.
Truce not to.
Not a real baseball.
Not something hard.
Oh, well, but like it looks like a real baseball, but it's really one of those like
Squishers?
squishy
Yeah.
balls, but the audience doesn't
Not hard.
know.
Okay.
And you have like a ketchup packet taped to the side of your face. Like they can't see your right cheek if you position yourself properly, and then I just peg it at your face and it smash the ketchup packet.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
Whoever was the first person to take a ketchup packet and pretend they were bleeding, they would be in my hall of goats.
Someone's grandpa.
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber, first people on TV. In my brain.
Right. I'll see if I can Google it.
First person ever.
First person to do ketchup packet as blood.
Jake doesn't. You guys are out on the way I open ketchup packets.
How do you
What
open
did
ketchup?
you do? I remember.
I tear
it
the
freaking
whole
me out.
long
Oh,
side.
you go long way.
And then I
you
spin
do all
it
the way.
horizontal, and I go one squeeze, and it all comes out. Instead of just doing the corner, and then I have to like really
I
tight
do
squeeze
the corner thing, but I don't think I hit
start at the
that.
corner. You think I'm being normal? I didn't
All the
realize
way
this was weird
down.
until Jake and Blevins had an audible reaction. I think,
People
and then I went
gasped.
all the way down. And
People
then
gasped.
just quicker, man. 3 bags at a time.
I don't always
I mean,
want
they
that
kind
much.
of.
I was my one of my first AIM usernames was Ketchup Boy. You think I'm gonna like slow play my ketchup packet?
It's fine.
They
Get
also
that
like
shit out.
they make the ones that are kind of built to be essentially what that is.
Yeah, there are some that have that path.
that
on it.
have like
Yeah.
Dale Ross and Yale Kaplan invented the ketchup packet in 1955. So, someone's grandpa.
What were their names?
Dale Ross
Yeah.
and Yale Kaplan,
Yale Kaplan
like the college.
invented the ketchup packet.
Together they did it.
His parents are not proud of that fact.
No, I don't.
No, they're
know.
not.
Dude, if you get royalties on each ketchup packet, you're
They
like
like the
rich.
money they get from it, but Yale Kaplan, he was meant to be a president. His parents had
Different
such higher
times,
hopes.
I don't know.
They had such higher hopes.
How much is Yale Kaplan worth? Thomas Kaplan is worth $1 billion.
Who's that?
Does it matter?
It could be someone completely different.
I mean, does it really matter? He's got the same last name. Isn't Kaplan like a book company? I don't know. This guy does a lot of stuff. I'm over it.
Okay.
Born
They
in
just,
62.
dude, they just took the soy sauce packet and changed it a little bit.
Well, when was the first soy sauce packet?
1955.
That's when the first.
Oh, they invented the soy sauce packet, then invented another one for ketchup, it looks like.
So these guys were working. These guys are legends.
Maybe I'm wrong about that.
No, the first design for soy sauce packets also appeared in 55 with Ross and Kaplan.
So these guys are sauce packet legends.
Timeout.
nobody's packeted better than these.
It's the same Yale Kaplan, but the other guy is different.
Oh, he invented it with a different partner.
Yes.
Harold Ross.
Holy
I have it as Harold Ross on the soy sauce. Who was the guy you had?
I somehow lost it, which is blowing my mind. First
I thought Ross was in the name that you had. You had Dale Ross.
Dale Ross.
So Dale Ross and Yale Kaplan invented the ketchup packet, but then, Harold Ross and Yale
Who the fuck is Harold
invented the soy sauce packet, and then Yale Kaplan said, "You're out," and your brother Dale is in, and they invented the ketchup. Maybe Dale went behind Harold's back and was like, "The soy sauce packet's cool." But Harry, fuck this up. I'm your new partner. I'm Dale.
So
They the same guy. Change their name.
Harold Dale Ross did die in 2009.
No.
And let him rest in peace.
The first sign of a soy sauce packet that resembles the one popular today is 1955 patent filed by two men named Harold M. Ross
Right.
and Yale Kaplan. So not the same guy.
Whoa.
Dale and Harold Ross. What else do you think they invented?
Man. Sorry to get heavy with you guys this up.
Yeah.
Do you guess the lineup anymore?
No, fuck that.
Okay.
Gallo leading off,
Hmm.
playing left field.
Attaboy.
Do you want to guess the lineup?
We can.
Is Stan going to play?
Ooh, that's the big question. Oh, isn't the lineup out?
Is it?
I
What?
thought I saw that notey pop up.
It is?
I haven't seen it.
Maybe I missaw that. I could have missed
That would be very early.
I'm sorry, guys. I missaw it.
That would be some mind games.
No, they posted a video, let's keep it rolling on the road.
Uh,
And that was the notification I got.
Good notification.
Stanton's playing
Stanton,
tonight.
he said before Sunday's game, like, I will be in the lineup Tuesday.
So the DJ, Judge, Rizzo, Stanton, Glaber, or maybe Carpenter there. Carpenter. These are the hitters we want. Hicks, Kiner, Trevino. Is that it?
Well, now Marley has a scary tweet out 9 minutes ago.
What'd she say?
Possibility of an IL stint for Giancarlo Stanton backdated to Saturday, but that will also be a decision the Yankees will make pregame.
So he's going on the IL.
Seems like Marley knows something. Marley.
Okay. So
Open
then,
Twitter at a good time.
Carpenter lead off.
No, DJ lead off playing third base. Judge batting second, playing center field. Rizzo batting third, playing first base.
Glaber's kind of been in the 4-hole when it's not Stanton lately, right?
I mean, keep moving Carpenter up.
Yeah, I do Carpenter 4-hole. Carpenter 4-hole playing. Or is it in Shea Station? Shea Station.
Is
City Field.
What's the lesser corner? Both pretty big, right?
They're both real ones. Yeah.
Carpenter.
Does he play third?
Carpenter
DH,
playing right field. Glaber playing second base. Donaldson DHing.
Wow.
Hicks in left. IKF at shortstop. Trevino catching. Did I do it?
I think you got it.
First, second, third, short, left, center, right, DH, Donaldson, Trevino. The only thing they're going to do is they're going to play Gallo instead and give Donaldson, Glaber, or DJ the day off.
Who's pitching for the Mets today? Oh,
Taiwan
today's
Walker with the lefty tomorrow, so Gallo.
Donaldson's
for
been
Donaldson.
kind of, he's been all-time bad against righties
I don't guess the lineup anymore.
lately.
We don't guess the lineup.
It was a good app. We should have ended on the Ketchup boys.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about how Gallo's going to get a start over four guys that deserve
Yeah,
a
so
start.
Gallo
over.
and right, Carpenter DH. That how that shakes up.
It was a good app.
Still was.
Still was.
No.
Still was, buddy. Buddy boy.
He's going to get a start over
Ugh, Herman, sure.
starters
Yeah.
that are better than him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's the show.
I have a Domingo Herman thing.
Oh, man. Just pour it on.
Not that we're all pretty down on him right now because of everything. But I was talking to Sales Lucas, and he has been in a tough spot. Not that he deserves a soft landing, but if they waited one more day, he would have gotten Orioles Royals. Instead, we're giving him Astros Mets, which is fine. I don't care, but
They want him to fail.
It's fine. It's fine by me.
Better if he fails.
It'd be average.
They start him versus those guys, and they say, "See, we need Castillo."
And the Yankees very much believe in the more you see a pitcher,
Yeah,
the
I
better
think
the other team hits.
I don't know about for the Mets, but I think for the Astros, it was very much doubleheader.
We're not
going to give you
else.
like Cole or Monty or Nestor. Like they didn't want to give 2 playoff pitchers in a row. I 100% believe that. They would have rather gone
Hence,
to me.
not a bad theory.
Yeah.
I'm fine with where they landed, but a thing that I hadn't thought about until today.
Peace and chicken grease. We'll see you guys tomorrow night after the game.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Herman gonna shove. Gallo homers.
Gallo may homer tonight.
Kiner's gonna get a homer soon. He's swinging bigger.
Think so. I think City's too big.
Well, no, I don't mean the series, but soon he's swinging bigger.
Well, the stadium he's not going to do it at.
No, I think you can get a short porch at the stadium. He had one the other day where
You
he
can rip it
went,
down
to,
the
went to
line.
right. Maben said he was going to go off for 5 or 6 in a row at some point. I was like, Cam, reel that in.
Lock
Maybe,
that in, Jamie.
I'd say there's a chance he can get to 5 or 6 by the end of the year if he gets going or something. That feels high. That's
if you had a bet,
if
you had a bet a limb.
under.
Okay.
If 2.5 was the over-under, I'd go under.
Yes. Joe's
1.5, I might play. Give me the odds on it.
in over the wall homers only.
There's always a catch.
I think he will hit multiple and they will be fairly close to each other, but
Joe's lost a limb earlier today.
I heard that rumor.
I said if it's Black Mirror
Right.
or Truman Show and we have footage, Big Brother style footage of every time you've gone to Yankee Stadium from age 14 to age 30, whatever he is now. Every single time we have footage, I can prove it. And would you bet a hand over under half that you've taken a shit at the stadium? Because anyone would take the over because you can't trust your memory. And he bet it would be 0. And he's just like, you've lost a hand. Which hand would you like off, sir?
I don't do this conversation anymore.
Okay.
too much time and too many
I thought
sweets.
Joe's McFly was becoming one of my better friends.
An honest guy.
And then he just lied to my face for about an hour.
I will say, like 4 people called into the morning show,
Yeah.
and they all were like, I've been to a lot of games too, and I never pooped at the stadium. And then I told them that Joe says, 2-3 times a day, and that he's gotten a lot of private suites with his own private bathroom, or like the Delta clubs with his own bathroom.
Just a liar.
Yeah.
Kind of got to go.
Bye. Go Yanks. Tell him, Grams. Ooh.
Go Yankees.